Hi, I'm Pastor Darren, and welcome to Word for the Week. Have you ever had one of those persistent, nagging pains that just doesn't seem to want to go away? No, I'm not talking about your spouse or your kids. Now, this is that physical pain that just seems to surface every now and then, and just when you think it was gone, next thing you know, it shows up again. Well, we've got someone in the Bible had a similar issue. His name is Paul. And in 2 Corinthians, he talks about this thorn in the flesh that he describes as kind of a messenger of Satan. And as far as Paul could figure out, its whole purpose was to do nothing but help him be humble, to remember to rely on the Lord. This is what he says about this. Chapter 12, 2 Corinthians, beginning here in verse 8. 3 times I appealed to the Lord about this, that it would leave me. But he said to me, my grace is sufficient for you. For power is made perfect in weakness. So, Paul goes on to say, I will boast all the more gladly of my weaknesses, so that the power of Christ might dwell in me. Therefore, I am content with weaknesses, insults, hardship, persecutions, calamities, for the sake of Christ. For whenever I am weak, then I am strong. Paul come to a very wise conclusion there. That sometimes, just because we pray, and sometimes even though we pray with right hearts, there are some things in our life we have to just deal with. Take this virus and our self-seclusion that's going on here. Sometimes we just have to deal with things. We don't know all the whys and therefores of, but what this gives us an opportunity, as Paul realized, is that now's the time to be humble. Now's the time to rely on God, because His grace is sufficient for all of our needs. So whatever your particular needs might be right now, whatever my particular needs might be, we can count on this. God's grace will be sufficient to meet any of our needs. So in the week to come, as you're considering and dealing with the new way your life is being oriented at the moment, be humble, trust God, and know that His grace is sufficient enough for us, and that in our weaknesses we will find strength that comes from Him. I'm Pastor Darren. That's your word for the week. God bless you, and stay strong in the Lord.